Daeyu Dynasty, Pingnan City. The scorching sun is in the sky, and the sky is full of corpse energy. In the cramped Santiao alley, people squatted in the corner, skinny and ragged, fluttering in the wind. On the right side of the alley, there is a ditch running in the same direction. The thick water of rotting corpses and the turbid yellow water are mixed together. There are also several open-air toilets with a pungent smell around them. The mixture of several phases makes the smell of the alley even more difficult. Smell. But no one cared. They scooped water to cook rice, wash their bodies, and clean farm tools carelessly. There was a small man in the crowd, with dark skin, shirtless. His lower body was surrounded by a short brown cloth made of burlap, and he wore a pair of straw sandals. The only difference between him and the people around him is that his eyes are bright and piercing. Qin Huai tried to reduce his breathing. Although it's been half a month, he still can't accept the smell. Not to mention being hypocritical, it was the stench that made his body strongly resist. At the end of the alley, there was a notice for recruiting apprentices in front of the Liu family pharmacy. Chonglong Street is full of people vying for the first place. Qin Huai licked the chapped corner of his mouth, feeling a little restless. I have been in this world for more than half a month, and I finally found a family. I am a time traveler, and in my previous life I was a social animal who just graduated from university. The boss painted a big cake and said, I promise to become a regular after the completion of this project, and asked Qin Huai to work overtime for 29 consecutive days. On the day of becoming a regular, I was relieved, and then I came here. This world is respected by martial arts, there are monsters running rampant, and there are many powerful people. People who cannot practice martial arts are like duckweed, and their lives are worthless. I am a refugee who came to Pingnan City because of the disaster caused by demons. On the way to escape, I saw too many tragedies in the world where children were robbed and eaten, and families were destroyed because of lack of strength. Let Qin Huai insist that he must practice martial arts in order to live well in this world. It just so happened that this Liu family pharmacy was recruiting apprentices, and there was a chance to learn exercises without registration fee. This made the registration team line up for a long street. Qin Huai also came to try his luck. There are 30 or 40 people in front, and they didn't pay attention. Is the shopkeeper of the Liu family drugstore picking his son-in-law? Everyone was restless. Qin Huai was also worried. Those martial arts gyms in Pingnan City where you can learn martial arts cost tens of taels of silver just for the registration fee. A refugee like him simply cannot afford the money. This pharmacy accepts apprentices, and you can learn martial arts without charging. Could it be because of some special talent? The line finally came to the end, and in front of me was a young girl with a mature look. Do you have any specialties? The girl raised her eyes. This guy washed his face and changed his clothes, he doesn't look bad. Does literacy count? Qin Huai was serious. The characters in this world are almost the same as Chinese characters, so Qin Huai, who has gone through 9 years of compulsory education, is very confident. Especially in this world where per capita prenatal education does not go to school, literate people are a complete dimensionality reduction blow to others. Except for the town where I fled. It doesn't matter whether you can read or write there, as long as you can contribute. Therefore, Qin Huai, who couldn't find a chance to make use of it, achieved nothing in the first half month. Oh! The girl was surprised, took out a medicine book, put it in front of Qin Huai, and nodded. Angelica, wolfberry, ginseng, snake gall, gamboge, star anise. Qin Huai flipped through the catalogue and read out the names wherever the girl's fingers pointed. Qin Huai already has 7 or 8 points of confidence, and Pingnan City is worthy of being a big city. You really know how to read. The girl was shocked, and the smile on her face instantly brightened. The crowd behind him couldn't believe it, and they looked at Qin Huai who was dressed almost the same as them in surprise. No more queuing, the apprentices are full. The girl shouted at the top of her voice. The people behind dispersed faster than the girl yelled, and when they heard that Qin Huai was literate, they scattered cursing and swearing. No matter which world you go to, it's good to be literate. Seeing how easily he stood out from the crowd, Qin Huai couldn't help but sigh with emotion. The girl took the 3 recruited apprentices to the backyard. The middle-aged man with a goatee was slender, with an elegant face, wearing a grey and black vertically striped robe, sitting at a stone table and sipping tea. This is Lu Changjiu, the owner of the Lu family pharmacy. From now on, the 3 of you will be apprentices in my pharmacy. You usually follow me to memorize some prescriptions, buy medicinal materials, clean the pharmacy and other chores. If you learn well, I'll teach you a kung fu. Lu Changjiu rolled up her sleeves, and the work and cakes were all ready. The 3 of Qin Huai were all refreshed. The reason why there was such a long queue in front of the medicine shop was that the exercises were taught here, and it didn't cost money. How can you be considered a good student? Gao Cheng, who was the first to come, was curious. There are 2 types of apprentices in our pharmacy, chore apprentices and internal affairs apprentices. The girl walked up to the 3 of them and introduced. A miscellaneous apprentice. On weekdays, he does a series of miscellaneous tasks such as grinding medicine, buying meat, transporting medicinal materials, and collecting medicinal herbs in the mountains. He has 2 meals a day and includes food and lodging, but he has no wages. After 2 years, he will be transferred to a housekeeping apprentice. A housekeeping apprentice, refining medicine, writing prescriptions in the front hall, and treating patients, 3 meals a day, half a caddy of meat, 500 cash per month, can learn the qigong of the pharmacy. The 3 listened carefully and nodded frequently. Then, is there a way to quickly be promoted to the internal affairs apprentice? Gao Cheng smiled flatteringly, 2 years is too long. Yes, if you can learn to distinguish medicines in a few months, understand the medicinal properties of more than 50 kinds of medicinal materials, and formulate 10 kinds of prescriptions that have at least 3 kinds of medicinal materials that are different from the medicine shop prescriptions, but the effect is almost the same, you can be promoted. Gao Chengguang felt a headache just hearing this long list of requests. Qin Huai is similar, but there is no other way out now, so he can only wait for a while. The school is tested once a week. If the result of the school test is not satisfactory, I will expel him from the pharmacy. Don't be lazy, work hard. Lu Changjiu explained a few more words, and the 3 of them became teachers. There are no rules for Lu Changjiu's apprenticeship here. The 3 of them offered tea in turn according to the order in which they were recruited, and they were regarded as apprentices. Qin Huai is a junior. The girl who was shorter than Qin Huai was Lu Xiaomei, the master's only daughter, and the elder sister of the 3 of them. After apprenticeship, the 3 were taken to the backyard and divided into residences. The courtyard of the Lu family drugstore is huge, with a full 2,000 square meters, and there are 5 medicinal material rooms alone. The 3 of Qin Huai are not all the apprentices in the pharmacy, and the pharmacy accepts apprentices every other month. The people living in the backyard, Qin Huai saw that there were about 30 or 40 people in the beds. As for how many housekeeping apprentices and miscellaneous apprenticeships there were, it was not known. Early the next morning, the 3 of Qin Huai changed into short brown suits with the word willow embroidered on their chests, and a pair of long trousers. After half a month in this world, Qin Huai also got his first pair of pants. I finally have pants. Qin Huai sighed. There is no feeling of wind and rain pouring in from below, so I feel very at ease. Then he was called to the pharmacy. In the pharmacy, more than a dozen teenagers dressed in the same style have already started to work in full swing. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. The small wooden stick hit the wooden bowl, and the sound of rattling echoed in the pharmacy. Grind all these danshan into powder like this. The tall man pointed to the medicine jar next to him. 20 cans per person. Qin Huai glanced at the fist-sized brown earthen jar, but didn't speak. He rolled up his sleeves and started grinding silently. As soon as he hammered it twice, Qin Huai saw a white ball of light falling from Gao Cheng's body beside him. Qin Huai shook his head and rubbed his eyes vigorously. You read that right, it is indeed a light cluster. And others don't seem to see it. He stretched out his hand towards the white light ball, and the light ball flew over by itself. Ding! You have collected a pharmacy essence, white, pharmacy EXP +1. Qin Huai's eyes went dark, and something more appeared in his mind. Salvia miltioriza, the root is used as medicine, it has the effects of removing blood stasis, regenerating, invigorating blood, and regulating menstruation. Qin Huai muttered silently in his heart. This is the medicinal part of Salvia miltioriza and some effects. With the growth of experience, it appeared in my mind. This experience value is not a vague number or a progress bar, but practical knowledge. When I have accumulated all the experience points, it also means that my medicine skills have indeed reached a certain level step by step. The next moment, a panel appeared in front of Qin Huai's eyes. Name, Qin Huai. Cultivation method, None skill, Pharmacy, Unlearned, 1/100, Boundary, None. Goldfinger is finally here. Qin Huai looked at the personal panel in front of him and was overjoyed. While thinking, white light began to fall from the bodies of other people around. Ding! You have collected a pharmacy essence, white, pharmacy EXP +1. Ding! You collected a pharmacy essence, white, pharmacy experience value. Qin Huai did not refuse anyone who came, and swept away the white experience falling around him. In the blink of an eye, the experience value of pharmacy has reached 29/100. In Qin Huai's mind, the harvesting methods and functions of Codonocys pilosula, Salvia miltioriza, Ganodermalocidum, City, and other medicinal materials appeared in an instant. It's just that after picking up everyone for a round, Qin Huai waited for a long time but didn't wait for the white experience ball to fall from them. Until the next day, Qin Huai collected another round of experience from everyone, 60/100. Among them, there is also a little bit of experience that I have worked hard to grind the medicine powder for a day. It seems that everyone can only collect experience once a day. Although it is a little less, according to this progress, I will be able to become an internal affairs apprentice next time I take the school exam. Qin Huai looked relaxed. Under normal circumstances, based on one day's experience, it would take 200 days, that is, more than half a year, to learn the skill of medicine. Now it only takes 3 or 4 days, which is 40 or 50 times faster. How can Qin Huai not be happy? A good week. Qin Huai was full of enthusiasm. When I have learned the art of medicine, I will be able to become an apprentice in housekeeping. At that time, there will be meat to eat, money to earn, and exercises to learn. In the blink of an eye, a week passed quietly. In addition to grinding medicinal powder and collecting medicinal herbs in the mountains every day, Qin Huai also does some work such as cleaning dry toilets and killing pigs and sheep. When he finds time, he will be called to the study by the elder sister Lu Xiaomei to help memorize some prescriptions that Lu Changjiu has found out. Of course, there are few prescriptions, and more are some medicinal properties of medicinal materials. But even so, Qin Huai still took the opportunity to secretly learn a lot, and every time he memorized something, he would gain a little more experience. This is acquiesced by Master Lu Changjiu, and it can be regarded as the benefit of literacy. There are more than 40 people in the pharmacy, including chores apprentices and internal affairs apprentices, and only 5 of them are literate. One of them could only write his own name and the words Yang Family Pharmacy, which can be said to have given Qin Huai a deeper understanding of this cultural desert. Thanks to this, Qin Huai stood out from the crowd of apprentices. He took over the work of recording in the study. Lu Changjiu would gather some daily medicinal materials and prescriptions, compile them into a book, and send them to the mansion in Pingnan City. During this week, Qin Huai also wanted to find a senior who practiced Qigong to see if he could collect some experience points for Qigong. Unfortunately, these senior brothers seem to have a special yard and time for their practice every day. Qin Huai can't get in at all, so he can only give up. Fortunately, I can go in today. The medicine technique is finally done. Qin Huai finished collecting today's experience balls. With a slight movement in his mind, his personal panel popped out in front of his eyes. Name, Qin Huai. Cultivation method, None skill, Pharmacy, Elementary, 0/200, Boundary, None. In Qin Huai's mind, a large number of medicinal materials, medicinal properties and combinations flowed past Qin Huai's eyes like a stream. All assembled. Elder sister Lu Xiaomei beat the gong to wake up everyone who was taking a nap. Today for the school exam, everyone went to the small room and shared a prescription for invigorating kidney qi or curing stomach problems. Lu Xiaomei wore braided braids and a blue robe embroidered with white flowers. As she spoke, she walked into the small room, leaving a fierce-looking brother in the yard as a supervisor, and no whispering was allowed. Qin Huai, you'll be the first one. Go to the study and wait after you're done. Lu Xiaomei had a casual expression on her face. She usually watched Qin Huai remember things. Even if it is a fool, copying all day will be much better than others. So I don't worry that Qin Huai won't pass the exam. 3 Chien for Ophiopagon japonicus, 4 Chien for Roremania root, 30 Chien for fresh lotus root section, 2 Chien for gorgon fruit, 3 Chien for golden cherry, and 4 Chien for cornus. Take the juice. 2 doses a day. Nourish yin and reduce fire, soothe the nerves and strengthen the essence. It is effective for impermanence, nocturnal emission, tinnitus, palpitations, fatigue, and low back pain. Qin Huai blurted out. Isn't this daddy's prescription? Lu Xiaomei looked up with surprise on her face. She is also proficient in medicine, but after listening to Qin Huai's prescription, she knows that it is absolutely feasible. Okay. Qin Huai nodded. I've been transcribing in the study these days, and I've realized something. After learning the art of medicine, Qin Huai seemed to have a machine in his mind, running at high speed to arrange and combine the medicinal materials he knew. There are not many combinations that can be combined, but it is definitely enough. There are still a few prescriptions that can be used. What else? Lu Xiaomei couldn't sit still anymore, and walked quickly to Qin Huai. This week, 2 meals a day are stable. Although there is no meaty smell, Qin Huai's stature has grown a lot. The whole person is also as if inflated, much stronger. Lu Xiaomei, who used to be almost the same as Qin Huai, is now 2 centimeters shorter than Qin Huai. 3 Chien for ginseng, 1 Chien for tea. Simmer in water, take 1 dose a day, divided into 2 doses, to replenish qi and yang. Qin Huai said indifferently. Regardless of Lu Xiaomei's stupefied, Qin Huai said 2 more prescriptions for invigorating the spleen and liver. You realized all of this by yourself. Lu Xiaomei finally spoke. Qin Huai nodded. Elder sister, can I be an apprentice in internal affairs now? You wait, I'll go and call Dad. Without waiting for Qin Huai's consent, Lu Xiaomei rushed out of the small room. The apprentices outside were stunned for a while, and began to whisper. After a while, he saw Lu Changjiu walking into the courtyard in a hurry. Master is good. Everyone drank in unison. It's a pity that Lu Changjiu didn't even look at it, and went straight into the small room. What does cinnamon cure? Lu Changjiu asked Qin Huai the first time she saw her. Replenishing yin and yang, warming the spleen and stomach, eliminating accumulated cold, and clearing the blood vessels. Treating the decline of fire at the door of life, cold limbs and weak pulse. Skullcap. Clears heat and dampness, cools blood and relieves miscarriage, mainly treats febrile diseases. Qin Huai blurted out. Lu Changjiu asked several more questions, some of which Qin Huai could answer, and some of which Qin Huai could not answer. Although Qin Huai, who has the blessing of elementary medicine skills, knows a lot, the number is limited. But Lu Changaihu's expression became more and more excited as time went by. Good. 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 After Lu Changaihu finished asking, she patted Qin Huai's shoulder heavily. Qin Huai felt a big stone hit his shoulder, his legs softened, and he almost knelt on the ground. Master looked at Ruya and Thin, did not expect to be so strong. Is this a martial artist? From now on, you will be an apprentice in internal affairs. Lu Changaihu smiled kindly, looked Qin Huai up and down, and then looked at Lu Xiaomei beside her. You. Huai'er, how old are you this year? 14. Oh good. Good. Lu Changaihu was pleased. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com was the same age as Xiaomei. Work hard, don't be arrogant, you can read all the prescriptions in the study in the future. You can also use pen and ink casually, try to make prescriptions and dispense medicines yourself. Qin Huai's talent is definitely not worth mentioning, but his temperament and character need time to consider. When it comes to recruiting apprentices, talent often comes second. The most important thing is character. So Lu Changaihu is not in a hurry, the days are still long. Lu Changaihu left the small room, and immediately announced her decision. Literacy is good, memorize quickly, remember quickly. It's only been a week and I've become an apprentice in internal affairs. Gao Cheng and the others were full of envy. This world is really unfair. Gu Erwei was a little sour, he was short and had a pockmarked face. He was not welcomed in the pharmacy on weekdays, and it took him 2 years to become an apprentice in internal affairs. Apart from him, many old apprentices who have been here for several months or even a year are also full of jealousy, sadness, and various emotions. Wait for Lu Changaihu to leave. Lu Xiaomei stood on tiptoe and hugged Qin Huai's shoulder. Immediately, there were turbulent waves, which piled up and rolled down. Qin Huai was startled, he didn't expect this little senior sister to be so violent, he couldn't tell it at all. Seriously, a person cannot be judged by his appearance. My father is already thinking about recruiting apprentices. If you work hard, you may become my father's apprentice in a year or 2. Lu Xiaomei smiled. Then when can I learn Qi Yang Gong? Qin Huai thought to himself. Tomorrow Mishi, you go to the backyard and wait. Lu Xiaomei stood on tiptoe again, wanting to touch Qin Huai's head. In the end, he had no choice but to give up, rubbed his feet and left the small room resentfully. By the way, you will be an apprentice in internal affairs in the future, and move to live in the backyard. Qin Huai will be our little junior brother from now on. Song Jia patted Qin Huai on the shoulder and led Qin Huai to the backyard. He had a beard, a stocky build, and a hearty laugh. He called everyone over with a loud voice. There are not many internal affairs apprentices, and Qin Huai is the 11th. Brother. Song Jia patted Qin Huai's back. I've met all of you senior brothers. Qin Huai's body trembled, his palm strength was as strong as that of a hammer and drum, and he was worthy of being a martial arts practitioner. Although our internal affairs apprentices are not considered formal disciples of the master, we are still half apprentices. Different from the miscellaneous apprentices outside, we are also the face of the pharmacy. We must pay attention to our words and deeds when walking in the city on weekdays, and don't cause trouble for master. The pharmacy business has always been about making peace with people, and peace is the most important thing. Song Jia taught earnestly. Then how can you be regarded as a formal disciple of the master? Qin Huai was curious. Naturally becoming a warrior. Master's official disciples are only 2. The 2 senior brothers often travel between the towns and villages below the city, saving people and passing on their names. When they are busy, they only come back once a month or 2. Practice tomorrow, and you will be able to see the 2nd senior brother. Song Jia added. Then he took Qin Huai to the backyard. The backyard is wide, with a long corridor from east to west, which is 60 to 70 meters long. The flowers and willows are fragrant, and the rockery stream is like the boudoir compound of a delicate lady, which is refreshing. It is different from the datong shop in the front yard, where there are 5 or 6 people or even 7 or 8 people in a room, which is hot and smelly. The internal affairs apprentices shared a room with each other, and there were no longer the deafening snores one after another. There is also no pungent foot odor, and the dry toilets that need to be queued up every morning to grab a seat are gone. Each room is divided into a small room, which is called an independent bathroom in the words of the previous life. There is also a maid who washes and cooks for the two of them. It can be described as worlds apart. Since Kinhua is an odd number, she can be allocated a room of her own. At Mashi the next day, Qinhuai was awakened by the crowing of a rooster. Just opened the door, it was found that Songjia and others were already standing on the rockery. It was only when Qinhuai got closer that he discovered that there were more than a dozen polished places on the rockery that he thought were decorations. So why does Qigong need to be practiced on a rockery? Qinhuai was full of question marks. After a while, senior sister Lu Xiaomei and master Lu Changjihu also came. There is also a tall and slender man with the same elegance as Lu Changjihu. I've met master. Senior sister. Second senior brother. Everyone clasped their fists together and saluted. Qinhuai also followed suit. This is the junior brother. Second senior brother Gao Ruyang smiled warmly. Walking to the edge of a big rock, he exerted all his strength like pulling a willow upside down. The stone that was at least 200 caddies was lifted by him directly. Then easily walked to the edge of the rockery and put down the stones. This will be your place from now on. Gao Ruyang smiled at Qinhuai. Second senior brother is so vigorous. Gu Erwei exclaimed. He became an internal affairs apprentice 2 days earlier than Qinhuai. Is this a warrior? Qinhuai was serious. It is effortless to lift a stone of 200 caddies, the key is that the second senior brother is not too strong, like a Confucian scholar. The exercise I teach you is called Yang Qigong, not the kind of method that has killing effects in martial arts gyms and gangs. After practicing Yang Qigong, it only has the effect of prolonging life. Lu Changjihu stroked her beard. Use the body to nourish qi, dredge the 8 extraordinary meridians, remove impurities and stasis. Then practice this qi yang gong, can you become a warrior? Gu Erwei asked quickly. Yes, but even if you become a warrior, you will be the weakest among them. After all, the effect of this exercise is only to prolong life. Lu Changjihu stroked her beard and took a sip of tea leisurely. After hearing Lu Changjihu's remarks, Gu Erwei obviously looked lonely. Qinhuai didn't care much about it, he took a step at a time, at least practiced martial arts first. Although Yang Qigong is not good at attacking, but relative Yang Qigong doesn't require innate understanding. Lu Changjihu said to herself. You only need to practice in the early morning, breath in and out the purple energy, breathe in 9 deep and 1 shallow as a round, breathe out 2000 rounds to cultivate the first level, and the 10th level can be a warrior. Lu Changjihu patiently told Qinhuai and Gu Er Baby explained. Those with talent may be faster. Then at master's speed, you can only practice 30 rounds a day, and it will take more than a month just to cultivate the first level of Qigong, and it will take a year to become a warrior. Gu Erwei said. Exactly. Lu Changjihu nodded. When you become a warrior, your body's qi and blood will undergo a transformation, and your qi and blood will suddenly double or even multiply. This is also one of the most important differences between a warrior and ordinary people. In addition, according to the characteristics of the exercises, different abilities will be given to the warriors. Like my qi yang gong, it can prolong life. Lu Changjihu smiled. It's also like the Bengshi fist of Baishan Martial Arts Academy, which has the power of breaking and piercing. Qinhuai and Gu Erwei were stunned. After explaining a few more trifles, under the leadership of Lu Changjihu, everyone began to face the purple air, 9 deep and 1 shallow. Qin Huai meditated on his resolution, and followed Lu Changjihu's indifferent voice, breathing with Ziki. In my mind, the personal panel also quietly emerged. Name, Qin Huai Cultivation Method, Qi Yang Gong, 0th floor, 0/100, Skill, Pharmacy, Elementary, 0/200, Boundary, Nun Yang Qigong has already appeared on the personal panel impressively. After several rounds of breathing, Qin Huai slowly opened his eyes, and the experience value of Qigong on the panel remained motionless. But while the senior brothers were hesitating, white experience kept popping out. Qin Huai was also unambiguous, and immediately collected the white experience balls. Ding! You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, white, Nursing Qi Gong experience value +3. Ding! You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, white, Nursing Qi Gong experience value +2. Ding! You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, white, Nursing Qi Gong experience value +6. What's going on? The experience given by this white experience ball is actually different. Thinking for a moment, Qin Huai thought of what Lu Changjihu said just now. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Nourishing Qigong can only become a martial artist after practicing to the 10th level. In other words, there are 10 levels before a warrior. I think the experience are given according to the number of layers of these brothers' Qigong. Sudden, Qin Huai looked at the front master Lu Changjihu, second senior brother Gao Ruyang, and senior sister Lu Xiaomei. What fell out of the three of them was a green experience ball. Sure enough, it must be because they are already warriors, and the green experience will have more experience. With a thought, Qin Huai collected all three blue experience balls. Ding! You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, green, Nursing Qi Gong experience value +10. Ding! You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, green, Nursing Qi Gong experience value +27. Qin Huai finally picked up Master Lu Changjihu's experience ball and added 29 points in one go. Master is worthy of being a master. His Qi nourishing skills are 12 levels higher than that of the second senior brother. Qin Huai clicked his tongue. Etc. Why is the experience ball of the elder sister Lu Xiaomei almost the same as that of the master? He remembered that Lu Xiaomei once said that the layers of Qi Yang Gong of their brothers were similar. Qin Huai recalled the differences between the two and himself. Probably the elder sister Lu Xiaomei is closer to him, they often stay together these days. It was the first time I met my second senior brother Gao Ruyang, and I didn't have much interaction with my master on weekdays. With a thought in his mind, the personal panel appeared before his eyes again. Name, Qin Huai Cultivation Method, Nursing Qigong, First Floor, 3/200, Skills, Pharmacy, Elementary, 1/200, Boundary, None. Is this already the first floor? Qin Huai said to himself, delighted in his heart. The higher the realm, the more experience you can collect. He calmed down and felt the changes in his body. There is only a trace of white thread wandering in the body through the 8 extraordinary meridians, internal organs, and 6 internal organs. This is to nourish qi and detoxify. In common understanding, this ray of qi is the needle and thread to clear the impurities in the body, eliminate the burden on the body and achieve the effect of prolonging life. Qin Huai said to himself. He felt that his breathing was much smoother than before, and he became more sensitive to the smell of medicine in the pharmacy. Now this wisp of qi is too slender, and the efficiency is too slow. As the number of layers rises, this wisp of qi should gradually increase. Qin Huai pinched his fingers, and according to this progress, he would only need 10 days to become a warrior that everyone envied. After a while, Master Lu Changjihu, senior brother, and others dispersed separately. Qin Huai began to follow the steps, practicing on the rockery in the backyard every day and going to the pharmacy to collect experience. During the day, I shuttled back and forth between the lobby and the backyard, buying and selling medicinal materials. On the first day of each month, Qin Huai would take half a caddy of his own meat and cook a small barbecue in the yard. Now that he has become an apprentice in internal affairs, although he doesn't have much oil star for 3 meals a day, he can eat enough every meal. In addition, in ancient times, there were really no entertainment methods. Qin Huai bought a few dozens of snacks for the 500 yen per month at most, and the rest was simply too much to spend. Because the level of Qi Yang Gong of the seniors is not low, Qin Huai can gain a lot of experience every time. The experience bar of Yankigong only adds 100 points each time. Therefore, Qin Huai has a floor for 2 days, a floor for 3 days, and a floor for 4 days. In just 2 months, Qin Huai's Qi Yang Gong has reached the 10th floor. Qin Huai sat cross-legged on the rockery, with the rising sun swaying like a holy light descending on the world. The sky was clear and bright, and the blood in his whole body began to boil as if it was cooking. His whole body was crimson, and his blood began to transform under the radiance, like a silkworm chrysalis turning into a butterfly. Qin Huai's spirits were invigorated. "Warrior!" Qin Huai said, with hot air coming out of his mouth and nose. Although his physique hasn't changed much, his body is obviously much lighter. Qin Huai tried to punch in the backyard. The sharp sound of the wind accompanied the left and right fists, and the strength was already incomparable. When he mentioned the big rock he was sitting on, he was as relaxed and freehand as his second senior brother Gaoru Yang. "It's finally broken." With a thought, Qin Huai looked at his personal panel. Name, Qin Huai Gong Method, Qi Yang Gong, 10th floor, 4/1000, Skill, Pharmacy, Intermediate, 296/400, Boundary, Blood Refining Level 1. The experience of improving Qigong seems to have stopped. Qin Huai was overjoyed when he saw the no longer growing Qigong experience bar. He felt the qi in his body, which had changed from a wisp 2 months ago to a white snake swimming in Qin Huai's body, and would curl up in his danshan when nothing happened. Qin Huai can control the white snake to devour the food scraps and inexplicable impurities that he eats every day. This is the secret of Qigong. If Yang Qigong reaches the 30th or 50th level, how big will this white snake grow? Will my body really be able to hold it? It's a pity that medicine art, since it was upgraded to elementary medicine art, there is very little experience that can be obtained from prescriptions. Qin Huai frowned. It is probably because the medicine skills of the miscellaneous apprentices in the prescription are too poor to provide the experience needed to upgrade the elementary medicine skills. Qin Huai was also relieved. Anyway, elementary medicine skills were enough for him. Sitting in town every day for minor disasters and illnesses, and prescribing medicine for myself is no problem. In the past 2 months, Qin Huai also did a test when collecting experience balls. He entered the door with him, and Gao Cheng, who had a better relationship, gave him much more experience than others. The values of the brothers who have been unknown and have not had much intersection are very average. There is a Gu Airway, whose experience value has been sluggish for a long time. Although I don't know what the problem is, this guy probably doesn't like himself very much. This kind of life is really good, safe, and leisurely. Qin Huai said to himself, lifting the big rock he was sitting on to feel the power emerging from his body. Huai broke through. Lu Changjiu suddenly walked quickly from behind, just in time to bump into Qin Huai holding up a big boulder carelessly. "Master!" Qin Huai hurriedly put down the stone. "No need to be too polite, no need to be too polite." Lu Changjiu looked excited, not as refined as usual. "It's just a fluke, I feel transformed after practicing." Qin Huai said honestly. "Hehe, you kid and master are still pretending. Every time you reach a level of Qi Yang Gong, the white snake in your body will grow a little bit, it's impossible not to notice it." Lu Changjiu shook her head with a smile. A martial artist who becomes a martial artist in 2 months is a martial arts prodigy. It's a pity. What's the pity? Qin Huai asked. Lu Changjiu looked lonely. It's a pity that Qi Yang Gong is only a residual skill. Every 10 levels of ordinary martial arts can break through a realm, but the highest Qi Yang Gong can only be cultivated to the first stage of blood refining. After that, it is up to you how deep Qi Yang Gong is. Practice to the third stage. 10 floors are useless. Qin Huai came to a sudden, no wonder the experience bar on the 11th floor stopped increasing after he reached the 10th floor of Qigong cultivation. But thanks to this, our Lu family medicine shop can gain a firm foothold in Pingnan City. With warriors like me sitting in the town, we will not be threatened by gangs, and we have a very good relationship with the 8 martial arts halls. In addition to nourishing Qigong to prolong your life, you have a bright future. Lu Changjiu smiled, stroking her beard. Early the next morning, Lu Changjiu announced the news that Qin Huai had become a warrior in the backyard. From today on, Qin Huai will be my 4th disciple. Lu Changjiu patted Qin Huai's shoulder. Lu Changjiu has a total of 4 disciples, the only daughter Lu Xiaomei who is the same age as Qin Huai, the second senior brother Ga Ruyang, and the third senior brother Zhang Gongcheng who has not met since he has been traveling around Pingnan City all year round. I've only been called junior brother for 2 months, so I'm going to change my name to junior brother. Song Jia was astonished. Teaching Qin Huai how to behave in the pharmacy and how to communicate with patients seems like yesterday. No, yesterday he was still teaching Qin Huai what to do when he encountered a brutal patient. Oh, the gap between people is really too big. Song Jia could only sigh with emotion. And Gu Erwei, who became an internal affairs apprentice only 2 days earlier than Qin Huai, was even more bitter, standing in a corner depressedly without saying a word. He started 2 years earlier than Qin Huai, and finally became an apprentice in internal affairs. His Qigong has only reached the 3rd level. But this Qin Huai, how many days have passed since he became an internal affairs apprentice in a few days? Become a senior? In the middle of the night, Gu Erwei grabbed a scarecrow with the word Qin on it, and stabbed it viciously with a silver needle. Die! 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 It was a week after the news of Qin Huai's becoming a martial artist was told by the master to the entire pharmacy. The elder sister Lu Xiaomei came to the door with a bowl of soup and medicine. Junior brother, I've taken the medicine. Lu Xiaomei said cautiously. I'm not sick, what kind of medicine should I take? Qin Huai was at a loss, the bright red soup in the bowl always had a strange feeling. Did no one tell you, look at my brain? Lu Xiaomei patted her head. This is qi and blood soup, a soup that can increase the qi and blood of warriors. You should also feel that the blood will change when you break through the realm and become a warrior. We call this realm the realm of refining blood. Every time you break through, the blood in your whole body will transform once. In other words, the stronger your qi and blood, the higher the benefits you will get when you transform. Lu Xiaomei said patiently. Qin Huai was stunned. Then what is the price of this decoction? Qin Huai knew that this decoction must be precious. 5 taels a bowl. Qin Huai was shocked. He guessed that the decoction to increase qi and blood would be very expensive, but he didn't expect it to be so expensive. After he became Lu Changjiu's apprentice, he only had 2 taels of silver a month. It takes 2.5 months to drink a bowl? The ingredients of qi and blood soup are precious. Even a pharmacy can only prepare a bowl for apprentices who are about to break through and become warriors. Lu Xiaomei explained, you are an exception, because the breakthrough is too fast. Reading www.yuyuganshu.com is beyond our expectations. That's why your 2 senior brothers are running around all year round, escorting medicine. Lu Xiaomei sighed. How much can the brothers get for escorting the medicine? Qin Huai asked. He definitely wants to buy qi and blood soup, and of course he will not let go of the opportunity to improve his strength. And other people drink it, but I don't drink it myself. Doesn't that mean that he is weaker than others in the same realm? In this case, fighting with people in the future, is it okay to be killed by people crossing the border? The profits of the drugstore are 4 to 60, and the profit of the drugstore is 6. Lu Xiaomei explained. Qin Huai nodded, this is not bad. He immediately expressed his thoughts to the elder sister and went to do the work. Within 2 days, Master Lu Changjiao came to the door. Inform the job to come. It's delivery to Crest Town. Qin Huai paid for some healing medicine in the lobby, and grinned some poison himself. After hesitating for a moment, he used his medicinal skills to make a few packs of strong aphrodisiacs. If you encounter jadug powder, a person who is immune to all poisons, an aphrodisiac can disrupt his blood, and it is the best choice. It's better not to use it. Qin Huai clapped his hands and hid several packets of aphrodisiacs in his sleeves. He has a few taels of silver on him, but it's not enough for a bowl of qi and blood soup, so it's better to turn it all into life-saving things. Aphrodisiacs, poisons, these are the more the better, and they may be used at any time. Qin Huai was ready for everything, and listened to the master explain the process again. It is probably the family background and personality of the customers in Bofeng town, as well as the price of this batch of medicines and what is the bottom line if the other party temporarily lowers the price. Afterwards, Qin Huai took the 2 cars prepared by his master Lu Changjiao and 6 ordinary bodyguards he hired, and headed for Bofeng town. Escort for the first time. It was Gao Ruyang, the second senior brother, who brought him to complete it. Qin Huai sat on the carriage, leaning against the window and watching the scenery outside. He has been in Pingnan City for more than 2 months, and this is the first time he has left the city. The land has been barren, weeds are everywhere, and many skinny people are leaning against the city wall with no eyesight. The stream of people who wanted to enter the city flowed out for 3 miles from the gate of the city. There were many people in ragged clothes, shirtless and disheveled, and their lower bodies wrapped in short brown and walking barefoot. Qin Huai seemed to see himself back then. But today is different from the past, and now I have put on silk and satin clothes. Sitting in a carriage, he is still a vigorous martial artist. There are more and more people fleeing. Qin Huai whispered. Who says it's not? The calamity of demons has swept across the 16 prefectures. The imperial government's levy for demons is getting higher and higher day by day. The bandits are rampant and the common people are in dire straits. Li San, the bodyguard walking under the window, shook his head. The senior brother Gao Ruyang beside him didn't speak, and he was used to this for a long time. Going forward is a section of mountain road, you can sit still. Li San shouted, and stepped up to the front. Xiao xiao! The horse neighed. The convoy stopped suddenly. Immediately there was a clamor. I opened this mountain, and I planted this tree. If you want to live on from now on, you should leave money to buy roads. Familiar words, but not the slightest relaxed atmosphere. Full of murderous intent. Qin Huai immediately clenched his fists. I'll solve it. Gao Ruyang patted Qin Huai on the shoulder, and he and Qin Huai got out of the carriage one after another. Outside, there were more than a dozen bandits in black and short brown and holding long sabers, surrounding the convoy. I'm a student of the Lu family medicine shop in Pingnan City, my teacher Lu Changjiao. I hope you guys will give me some face. Gao Ruyang clasped his fists in all directions. It turned out to be the convoy of the Lu family pharmacy. The bandit headed by it suddenly became less aggressive. Face can be rewarded, but the premise is that you have enough money. The rules on the road cannot be broken, brothers also have to eat. The bandits were arrogant and did not take Gao Ruyang and Qin Huai seriously. It's natural. Gao Ruyang was very respectful, and handed over the 10 taels of silver with ease. The bandit weighed the silver bag in his hand. Go away! Go away! He waved his hand impatiently, and everyone set off again. On the carriage, Qin Huai was puzzled. What are the identities of those people? I don't think there are any warriors, right? Brother, why do you have to pay the money honestly? Those people are the famous bandits entrenched on Gippo Mountain outside Pingnan City, and they are members of the Black Eagle gang. Gao Ruyang explained. There are so many masters in the gang, and the master Black Eagle has been at the peak of Yulian for a long time, and his vitality is at its peak. The second master, Black Tiger, and the third master, Black Fist, are also masters who have stepped into the realm of first refinement for many years. Besides, there are 7 martial arts practitioners in the gang, whose strength should not be underestimated. Gao Ruyang said solemnly. Qin Huai calculated that, including himself in the pharmacy, there were only 5 warriors. What's more, Qigong is not good at attacking. The strengths of the two sides are far apart. It's no wonder that senior brother would bow down to a few ordinary bandits. He really couldn't afford to offend these people. But they usually let people go if they pay the money, so it's not a problem. If you are escorting them in the future, try not to conflict with them. Gao Ruyang warned several times. Well said. Suddenly, a voice exploded beside the two of them. Qin Huai instantly stood upside down with hairs all over his body. He rolled several times towards the outside of the carriage, went a few meters away, and then looked up in the direction of the carriage. I saw a big man in black standing at the driver's seat of the carriage. Almost right behind Qin Huai just now. When he speaks, Qin Huai could clearly feel his breathing. But before he spoke, Qin Huai didn't notice at all. Master. Qin Huai's expression was serious. All the people accompanying him were also heartbroken. Can't say a word. Dare to ask, but you are the leader of the Black Eagle gang. Gao Ruyang's voice was also trembling. Little baby has good eyesight. He Ying sneered. What can you teach me? Gao Ruyang became more respectful when he got the answer. It's nothing, I just heard you talking about my Black Eagle gang, so I came to join in the fun. Black Eagle acted like no one else, and didn't pay attention to Qin Huai and Gao Ruyang, 2 first-time martial arts practitioners. Continue on your way. After paying the toll, the Black Eagle gang, won't make things difficult for you. Black Hawk waved his hand. Thank you, master. Gao Ruyang could only cup his fists together. Thank you. The Black Eagle flashed past and quickly disappeared into the forest. The 2 brothers and sisters got back into the carriage again, with lingering fears in their hearts. Get out of this forest. Only then did Qin Huai dare to breathe heavily. Brother, didn't you say that the leader of the Black Eagle gang is also at the first level of refinement? Why didn't we even notice when he walked behind him just now? The housekeeping skill of the Black Eagle gang is the breath-holding skill. It can be done quietly when it is fully accomplished. What's more, there is a gap within a training. They hold a lot of gold and silver and drink qi and blood soup every day. The difference between our qi and blood is naturally very different. Gao Ruyang explained. Qin Huai was stunned. In my heart, the strength of the Black Eagle gang has once again risen to a higher level. The difference in combat power between them and the Black Hawk gang is not as simple as the number of people. Fortunately, I thought that the first would be turbulent, but I didn't expect it to be without any danger. Qin Huai finally let out a sigh of relief. Excluding the cost and the master's share, he and his brother Gao Ruyang shared the remaining share equally. Qin Huai earned 2 taels of silver at a time, which was his monthly salary. It's a pity that this kind of work doesn't happen every day. In the following days, Qin Huai received a job on average 5 or 6 days. Every time I paid the money honestly, nothing happened. It's only 20 taels of silver a month, and 4 bowls of qi and blood soup. Fortunately, the effect is remarkable. Qin Huai feels full every time, and his blood spurts. And Qigong is also stable at 1 level in 10 days, and the level becomes higher and deeper as the days pass. In the blink of an eye, a year has passed. Qin Huai sat in his private room with his eyes closed and his knees crossed. Immerse yourself in the inner world. Qin Huai looked at his personal panel. Name, Qin Huai Gong Method, Nursing Qigong, 48th floor, 813/1000, Skills, Pharmacy, Advanced, 247/1600, Boundary, blood refining level 1. Because of the skills of the juniors in the pharmacy, my pharmaceutical skills progressed slowly, and now there is no growth. Yang Qigong, on the other hand, still maintains the initial upward trend and is very stable. The former white snake in the body has now grown into a white dragon. Qin Huai's body was already filled with it, and the dragon squirmed like a world turned upside down. Fortunately, this white flood dragon seems to be shaped and invisible, it runs without hurting the internal organs, and even has the function of promoting. Otherwise, I'm afraid I've been blown away by the white flood dragon. I feel that it's not that Yang Qigong can't break through to the second refining stage, but that the number of layers required is too high. Qin Huai said to himself. I have a feeling in my heart that the 50th level of Qi Yang Gong is the time to transform. Master Lu Changaihu's 20th floor has not changed, it can only be said that his Qigong is still not enough. He stood up, he swung his palm forward, and at the same time mobilized the white flood dragon in his body. A huge amount of energy burst out of his body directly, and the air wave rushed along Qin Huai's palm. Boom! A porcelain pot a few meters away shattered. Although Yang Qigong is not good at attacking, but after reaching a certain level, it still has amazing effects. Qin Huai slowly retracted his palm. This move of mine was completely unexpected, and its killing power was astonishing. It is so powerful that it can kill enemies within 7 steps. The Qi Yang Gong on the 48th floor has undergone incredible changes. Even an ordinary martial artist can't stand his own palm. The only pity is that the Qi and blood soup is still too little, and my Qi and blood growth is too slow. Qin Huai regretted. Everything has gone up in price this year. Rice has risen from 10 wen a catty to 50 wen a catty. In the past, 1 penny could buy 4 white flour steamed buns, but now it costs 1 penny. The most important thing is that Qi and blood soup has also changed from 5 taels to 15 taels, and Qin Huai can't afford it. The blood that has grown over the past year is better than nothing. Worst of all, everything is going up, but my salary is not moving. The maids assigned to each room in the backyard of the pharmacy were also dismissed. On the way to the medicine, more and more bandits appeared, and the money they asked for was not the same every time. Senior brother Qin, lunch is ready. A crisp voice sounded outside the door. Thank you. Qin Huai pushed open the door, and outside was his little junior sister Luoye, with an innocent and beautiful face, and a very proud figure, not inferior to his senior sister Lu Xiaomei. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. She seems to be the prostitute of the Luo family, with a cute personality and very likable. The most important thing is that this little junior sister is not yet a warrior. Give yourself the most experience, 19 points each time, which is the upper limit for non-warriors. Therefore, every time Qin Huai sees Luoye, he can't help being happy, and he usually takes care of her a lot. Senior brother and I are too far-fetched to thank you. Luoye was a little shy, and put on another black robe. I see that senior brother has been wearing all his clothes for a long time without changing. I am not as busy as senior brother on weekdays. I have nothing to do. I made a big robe when I had nothing to do. It was actually made for my father, but senior brother, your physique is similar to that of your father. See if you can wear it. Luoye babbled a lot, but the preamble did not match the end. I didn't expect that junior sister is so ingenious. Qin Huai's upper body fit perfectly. Almost exactly. This robe is also beautiful, and the workmanship is not cheap. Qin Huai said with a pleasant expression. After the maids in the courtyard left, most of Qin Huai's meals were brought by this junior sister. What a coincidence! Brother, it fits so well. Luoye was surprised. Then give this big robe to senior brother. How did this happen? Didn't you make this for uncle? Qin Huai absolutely refused. Just do it for father, it's no trouble. Luoye didn't wait for Qin Huai to refuse, and turned around and ran away. This girl. Qin Huai shook his head helplessly. By the way, senior brother Qin, master said that you will be escorted tomorrow, don't forget. Luoya hid behind a tree and showed her head, and ran away immediately after speaking, as if afraid of being caught by Qin Huai. Understood. Qin Huai stretched out his hand, but had no choice but to put it down. Ghost Mountain. Black Hawk Gang. The young man was lying on the tiger skin rug, holding a jar of wine in his hand and drinking comfortably. Master Black Wolf. A soldier flattered. What's the matter? He Lang was impatient. He was the nephew of the leader, He Ying. He has an extraordinary status in the Black Hawk Gang. The master said that he wants you to go down the mountain every month to practice your hand. The hesitated. Are there any women? I won't go without women. Yes. I've already found one for you. After practicing, within half a mile, there is a hunter, and his daughter is very moist. He Lang sat up abruptly. Go. If there is a woman, go. On the way to Peak Town. There are more and more skinny people on both sides of the road, and more people are heading towards Pingnan City, fleeing their original hometown. They were blinded and wandered the road like walking corpses. The destination was Pingnan City, but it didn't seem to be. Qin Huai seemed to be a little numb to this scene like Gao Ruyang a year ago. The most powerful bandits entrenched on the road in Bofeng Town are the Black Eagle Gang. Sitting in the carriage, Qin Huai talked to the accompanying juniors and juniors what Gao Ruyang told him back then. The voice stopped abruptly. There was a clamor outside. Stop! Give me a stop! Qin Huai walked out of the carriage calmly, followed by Luoya and others. Gentlemen, this is the toll fee. Qin Huai was familiar with the road, and took out the silver from his bosom. But this time, the other party didn't answer. The leader of the bandits stared straight at Luoya behind Qin Huai, and the meaning in his eyes was self-evident. You can go, but this little lady stays. Bandit He Lang's eyes were full of color. Hero, we are the disciples of the Lu family medicine shop in Pingnan City, our master. Before Qin Huai could finish speaking, he was directly interrupted by He Lang. I don't care what pharmacy you are. Stay here, little lady, get out. Otherwise, don't leave. The Black Wolf is vicious. Family teacher Lu Changjiu. I said, get out. This is your last chance. In the past, I gave you face because of Yanzi's face. What kind of pharmacy are you? He Lang chuckled and shook his finger. Except for the 8 great martial arts schools, they are not good in front of my Black Eagle Gang. Luoya's face was pale and she couldn't say a word. The others were also at a loss, not knowing where to look. Everyone in Pingnan City knows the prestige of the Black Eagle Gang. Senior brother, why don't we go first? Junior brother Gu Erwei tugged at Qin Huai's sleeve. Go back and tell master, let master come forward to deal with this matter. Gu Erwei was anxious. Besides, junior sister Luo's family is well off, and the family members will have means. The others didn't speak, but the meaning was self-evident. In fact, they all know that if Luoya is left alone, there will be no return. They just put the best of things into perspective and convince themselves of their guilt. Only Luoya looked at the group of vicious bandits in front of him. His face was bloodless. Master always taught us that doctors are benevolent and should save lives and heal the wounded. Now that I have force, how can I just watch my junior sister being kidnapped by bandits? You go first, I'll take care of it here. Qin Huai remained expressionless. What's more, junior sister treats him kindly, how could he abandon her at this time? If you leave now, what's the use of practicing martial arts? Go, go. Why are you still standing here? Gu Erwei yelled, her heart bursting with joy. Qin Huai wanted to seek death himself, so he would definitely not stop him. He wished that Qin Huai would be dismembered by the Black Hawk Gang sooner. As soon as Gu Erwei opened her mouth, everyone did not dare to neglect, they stopped persuading Qin Huai, and returned the same way with the carriage. Only Qin Huai and Luoya are left. There are also bandits from the Black Eagle gang. A drug seller also wants to rebel against our Black Hawk gang. He Lang sneered. It's really sad for heroes since ancient times to pass the beauty pass. No, even bears can't pass. He Lang immediately rolled his eyes. The next moment, a bandit circled around Qin Huai's blind spot and stabbed him with a knife. Qin Huai's spirit was shaken, his eyes were sharp and his hands quickly turned around to hold the blade, and he clenched his fist with all his strength and punched out. Puff! A mouthful of blood directly spilled all over Qin Huai's body. Qin Huai was stunned. There was no one in front of him, but he was holding a limp arm in his hand. So much strength! The bandit's hand was broken by Qin Huai's punch, and he fell limp on the ground. There was a severe depression in his chest, and he hadn't breathed. This is the first time he has shot at someone since he stepped into the realm of a warrior. It also allowed Qin Huai to have a clear understanding of the power of qi and blood of the warrior for the first time, and full confidence rose in his heart. Although Yang Qigong is not good at attacking, the transformation of qi and blood when becoming a warrior is still too terrifying. He looked at the corpse under his feet, and there were several white experience balls. Killing people also have experience. Qin Huai was puzzled, and then collected the experience balls. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating technique essence, white, and the experience value of concentrating breathing technique is plus 13. Breathing power? Isn't this the martial art practiced by the Black Eagle gang? And a bandit actually has 13 points of experience. These bandits have a higher realm than the internal affairs apprentices of the medicine shop? Wrong, Qin Huai realized the problem, it was the experience ball he got out of killing people. It is different from the experience that the brothers practiced. The experience exploded by killing people will have more experience. Musha! The remaining 4 bandits grunted and couldn't help swallowing. Qin Huai strode towards the 4 of them. With both fists swung out, no one in front of him can stop him. He punched a bandit, and the punches collided for a moment. There was a crisp bone-cracking sound. The bandit's arm twisted instantly, and he fell to his knees on the spot in pain. Die to me! A man with a vicious look sneaked up from behind and slashed directly at Qin Huai's waist. Base! Qin Huai exerted all his strength, clamping the long knife with his vigorous blood at the moment it entered the flesh, preventing him from entering at all. Turn over and punch, dented his chest. Almost one punch at a time, killing several bandits one by one. The power of warriors is completely a dimensionality reduction blow to ordinary people. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating skill essence, white, breath concentrating skill experience value plus 22. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating art essence, white, and the experience value of concentrating breath art is plus 16. Breathing concentration skill EXP plus 30. Wait! Wait! He Lang yelled in horror. He didn't expect Qin Huai to be a warrior. I, the Black Eagle gang, have always been vengeful. If you kill me, you will never be able to do business again in this way. If I killed all of you, no one will know that I did it. Qin Huai said seriously. My uncle is the leader of the Black Hawk gang. He Lang roared angrily. And the reason why my Black Eagle gang is called the Black Eagle gang is that there are Black Eagles who send messages. Everything on this land can't be hidden from our eyes. He Lang's eyes were quick and his hands were quick, and for some reason, his hands fluttered. A black bird rushed out of his arms and flew into the air. When Qin Huai reacted, the black bird had already flown out to a height of more than 10 meters. I've already spread the news here, if you kill me, you'll have to go another way in the future. He Lang's face was ferocious, and his heart was flustered. How could he have time to write intelligence in such a short period of time? It's just to scare Qin Huai, let go of the unbelieving letter bird. Don't think that you are great because you are a warrior. You can kill 3 or 5 people, but what about 30 or 50 people? There are 50 heroes in my Black Eagle gang. He Lang chased after the victory. My uncle is the leader of the Black Eagle gang. Let me go, let's talk. Boom. Qin Huai punched the screaming He Lang to death. Why do you bother me as a bandit? I just want to live a good life and earn a little money. Qin Huai wiped off the blood on his body with the bandit's clothes, and repaired the bandits with knives. In the end, that guy even blew himself up that his uncle was the leader of the Black Hawk gang. That's stupid, let's not let him live. As for what message, although the bean-sized black bird was missed, Qin Huai's warrior vision could still see it clearly. There is no letter attached to it. Unless the black bird can speak human words, it will be all recounted. But if the Black Hawk gang has such a bird, reading www.yuyuganshu.com Ping Nanchange is about to change his surname to Black Eagle. Breathing concentration skill EXP plus 70. This black wolf actually added 70 points of experience to himself? Qin Huai was puzzled, he could feel that the black wolf's martial arts attainment was not even as good as the others. Purely a dandy, bandit. Understood, it's probably caused by the black wolf's evil deeds. Qin Huai suddenly understood. Killing him by oneself can be regarded as eliminating violence and peace, and there is some kind of gift from heaven. This man is familiar with preying on women, and he is a habitual offender long ago. Qin Huai's thoughts moved slightly, and he looked at the personal panel. Name, Qin Huai Gongfa, Nursing Qigong, 48th floor, 923/1000, Concentrating Breathing Gong, 1st floor, 51/200, Skills, Pharmacy, Advanced, 247/1600, Boundary, Blood Refining Level 1. Qin Huai felt it, and the sound of his own breathing seemed to become lighter. When urging the breath-holding exercise, I feel that there is a light wind under my feet, which makes the sound weaker. This martial arts is easy to use. Qin Huai sighed, if the level of breath-holding skill is high, he can be like the leader of the Black Eagle gang. Walking silently, like a ghost. Things will be much more convenient. It's just that this technique is not good at attacking. Brother, what shall we do next? Luoya was trembling all over. Keep this matter to yourself and never bring it up again, Qin Huai ordered. Luoya was already at a loss, and could only nod desperately. The two buried the bodies of the Helang people on the spot, and then covered the scene with soil to remove traces as much as possible. Then returned to Pingnan City. Suppressing the fear, he finished burying Helang and the others. Luoya was so frightened by the sudden change that she realized that her legs were weak, and she fell to the ground. Not to mention walking, I can't even get up. His whole body twitched, and cold sweat soaked his short robe and the ground like rain. She was pampered since she was a child, and the most important thing was the reputation of the Black Eagle gang, which had been suppressed by them, Pingnan City and the surrounding people for too long. The Black Hawk gang will take revenge. If anyone kills them, they will target them like a dog's skin plaster. What's more, he killed his nephew this time. Senior brother, I killed you. Luoya's face turned pale. What's the use of saying so much now? Qin Huai was calm, and when the villains were killed, they would be killed. He wanted to live a stable life, but that didn't mean he had to just beg for perfection and be tolerant. Just because you don't cause trouble doesn't mean you're afraid of trouble. There are really wicked people oppressing the superiors and pushing them to a desperate situation. Qin Huai didn't mind risking his life to let those wicked people know that people are born with vitality, not just for survival. Otherwise, what's the point of living in this world? Qin Huai grabbed Luoya violently with one hand, put it on his shoulder, and strode forward. Until entering the city, Luoya seemed to have found support and was able to walk on the ground. Walking into the pharmacy, the two couldn't help but walk more briskly. But I found that the atmosphere in the pharmacy was not right. Master Lu Changjiu and the others watched Qin Huai and Luoyu return safely, but there was no joy on their faces. Everyone was silent, filling the atmosphere in the backyard with an invisible solemnity. This matter, don't mention it again. Lu Changjiu gathered everyone who knew about it in the backyard, speaking concisely. The safe return of Qin Huai and Luoyu meant that all members of the Black Eagle gang had been killed. Anyone who offends the powerful Black Eagle gang will be punished. For the Lu family pharmacy, it can be said to be a big hidden danger. Qin Huai, you've caused big trouble. Qin Huai, you don't need to be escorted anymore. Just ask a doctor in the lobby. Lu Changjiu ordered. His name for Qin Huai also changed from Huai to the full name. The elder sister Lu Xiaomei, who cared a lot for her before, now she also stands there and dare not look at her. Qin Huai was sensitive, and his heart sank. Everyone in the pharmacy recently, don't go down the city, don't leave the city either. Lu Changjiu ordered everyone to avoid the limelight. Night, Qin Huai's door was knocked open again. Senior brother Qin, if the job is gone, then it will be gone. At worst, I will support you. Luoyu was trembling all over. Obviously, what happened today has left her still in shock. But he still came to comfort Qin Huai first. Although qi and blood soup is expensive, I still have some money at home, so it's not a big problem for my brother to practice. That's fine. Qin Huai nodded and agreed temporarily. He has no better way now. He could only wait for his key nourishing skill to break through the 50th level, to see if he had a chance to step into the second level of blood refinement. And only the people in his own pharmacy know about killing He Lang himself. Whether there is monitoring in this world, the so-called predictive skills, even if there are deduction skills, they will not be in this small Pingnan city. Because according to Qin Huai's observation, this world is obviously a world of low or medium martial arts. Although the killing power of the warriors is terrifying, it is by no means to the extent of destroying the world and reversing yin and yang. I'll just continue escorting you when the limelight passes. Qin Huai was calm. After his key nourishing skills are advanced, it will not be too late to go to Gipo Mountain to get rid of this scourge for the medicine shop. He also has a clear conscience to eat some soft meals from his junior sister these 2 days. Ding! You have collected a nursing Qi Gong essence, green, nursing Qi Gong experience value plus 17 ding. You have collected a nursing Qi Gong essence, green, nursing Qi Gong experience value plus 12 ding. You have collected a nursing Qi Gong essence, green, nursing Qi Gong experience value plus 29. Qin Huai was stunned when he saw the last prompt. Because this is not the experience ball of Master Lu Changjiu, but the experience ball of junior sister Luoyu. Junior sister has given me so much experience, not only broke the 20 mark, but even tied with master. Qin Huai sighed. It seems that he saved the life of his junior sister, and made Luoyu's trust and closeness to him break through the limit. Qin Huai let out a breath, feeling the white dragon in his body grow stronger. Yang Qigong has entered the 49th floor. Qin Huai said to himself. The feeling of impending doom became more and more obvious. I am certain that the 50th floor must be that level. There seems to be no wind or rain in the city these 2 days, and everything is fine. Qin Huai said to himself, except for practicing, he has been living in his room for 2 days. Brother! Luoyu came running again. In the past few days, it seems that this little junior sister is the only one who is close to him. When facing Qin Huai, the others seemed alienated and unnatural. Is there any news from the city? Qin Huai guessed roughly that the murderer was most wanted by the Black Eagle gang. The killer of us is really He Lang, the nephew of the head of the Black Eagle gang. Luoyu panicked. The leader of the Black Eagle gang has released a reward of 100 taels for information about you. In other words, I haven't been exposed yet. Qin Huai understood. As long as there are no traitors in the pharmacy. Luoyu panicked, there are quite a few people in the pharmacy who know about this, and it will probably be a matter of time before the news leaks out. Brother, come with me to Luo Mansion. Father knows people from the 8 great martial arts schools. Although the matter of killing the Black Wolf may not be relieved, at least they should not dare to send people into the city to kill people openly. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Pharmacy backyard, a group of people looked at each other holding a wanted warrant. Find out the murderer who killed the nephew of the leader of the Black Hawk Gang. As long as you provide clues, there will be a reward, 100 taels. After Gu Erwei finished reading, everyone started to complain. Qin Huai is really serious, provoke some Black Eagle gang. That's right, we can't even get enough to eat now. The meat star of the month is gone. Heroes save the beauty, take over our entire pharmacy. Master said, don't mention that matter again. Someone reminded. I know. Gu Erwei nodded desperately, but her eyes couldn't help but drift towards the arrest warrant. Although food prices have skyrocketed this year, money is worthless. But 100 taels is not a small amount. Qin Huai is here. I don't know who said something, and everyone scattered like birds and beasts. There is only one reward order left. Qin Huai looked at the reward order on the stone table and was silent for a moment. Then go back to the house. We still need to hurry up and improve our strength. Qin Huai said to himself. The level of Qigong is infinitely close to the 50th level, and now it has stopped at the 49th level, 802/1000. In other words, as long as there are 2 more days and 2 more waves of experience, you can enter the 50th level of Qigong. And the feeling that he will usher in the second transformation of Qi, blood, and physique is getting stronger and stronger. This is probably the warrior's intuition. You can never go wrong. In the evening, Master Lu Changjiao gathered everyone together again. I have repeatedly emphasized that this matter is not allowed to be disclosed. Violators will be expelled from the pharmacy. The information I inquired about today is that Black Eagle, the head of the Black Eagle gang, brought his 9 fighters down the mountain together. Gao Ruyang's face was gloomy. Several small forces outside the city were slaughtered in one day, and many of them were warriors. Does the government not care about it? How can the Black Eagle gang be allowed to act like this to stabilize the hearts of the people? Lu Xiaomei was annoyed and scared. This breath-holding technique gave the Black Eagle gang in the mountains an advantage. It's okay if it's wiped out in one go, but if it can't be wiped out, with the style of the Black Hawk gang, they will definitely try their best to retaliate. They can't touch the entire Pingnan city, but it's easy to take revenge on 1 or 2 of them. No one wants to be that person. Gao Ruyang analyzed rationally, quite helplessly. The powerful 8 great martial arts schools sent out people to hunt them down, but the news spread before they even left the city. By the time they arrived, the Black Hawk gang had already left the building empty. Can only let it go. New news. The shopkeeper of Puzhu Iron Shop was killed on the way back, and his head is hanging on the wall. Song Ji ran in hastily. The shopkeeper of the Puzhu Iron Shop seems to have killed him half a year ago, an ordinary member of the Black Eagle gang. This matter was resolved at the time, and 300 taels of compensation was given. I didn't expect the Black Hawk gang to take the opportunity to bring up the old matter again. The atmosphere in the courtyard became more and more gloomy. Qin Huai looked at his master Lu Changjiao with a calm expression. He picked up the teacup, but the cup kept shaking, and he couldn't hold it steady no matter what. Finally put it down quietly. Qin Huai's heart skipped a beat. Although the master has the power of a warrior, he is still a pharmacy shopkeeper. Ding! You have collected a nursing Qi Gong essence, green, nursing Qi Gong experience value plus 19 ding. You have collected a nursing Qi Gong essence, green, nursing Qi Gong experience value plus 10. Nothing to say all night. Early in the morning, Qin Huai went step by step and gained a wave of experience. Seeing that the experience value of Yang Qigong increased again, he reached the 49th floor, 921/1000. One step away. Sudden, Luoya knocked on Qin Huai's door with a pale face. Brother, something is wrong. What's the matter? Qin Huai's heart skipped a beat. Someone sold the news that you killed the nephew of the leader of the Black Hawk Gang. Luoya just arrived. On the back foot, Lu Xiaomei, the big sister, came to the door. Junior brother, Master told everyone to gather in the lobby. Lu Xiaomei's expression turned extremely ugly. When Qin Huai and Luoya walked to the lobby, they found that the place had already been emptied out. The gate is closed. Master Lu Changjiu sat on the only chair. Behind him stood Ga Ruyang and a group of fellow apprentices. Chair opposite. The tall, thin man was dressed in a black robe, with one foot on a chair and a wine bowl in one hand. His eyes contemptuously looked at everything in the pharmacy. This is the messenger of the Black Eagle Gang. Ga Ruyang introduced in a low voice. In fact, no introduction is needed. Qin Huai knew from the other party's posture that he was from the Black Eagle Gang. He knew that the Black Hawk Gang was powerful and arrogant. But unexpectedly, this group of bandits from the Black Eagle Gang dared to send people into the city openly. You are Qin Huai. The Black Eagle Gang Black Dog sneered and looked at Lu Changjiu. Medicine seller, you break Qin Huai's limbs and tie them up yourself. Leave the rest to me. The Black Dog was domineering. He is also a warrior. But he relied arrogantly on the fact that there were still 9 powerful warriors on Gippo Mountain behind him. If I die, the Lu family pharmacy couldn't do it anymore. As long as these people leave the city, they will die. If you never leave the city, you can only starve to death. Lu Changjiu's face turned blue with anger, but she still suppressed her anger. There are at least 5 warriors in charge of my Lu family pharmacy. If you beat people up and take them away, how can my Lu family medicine shop gain a foothold in the city? His voice was sonorous. Then what does shopkeeper Lu want to do? Hegu sneered. Qin Huai is in the pharmacy for 1 day, and he is a member of my pharmacy. Lu Changjiu said loudly. The Black Dog just smiled, then got up and left. As soon as the Black Dog left, Lu Changjiu called Qin Huai into the room alone. Qin Huai, the informant is Gu Erwei. That kid hasn't come back since he went out this afternoon. Lu Changjiu's face flushed red with anger. Now the leader of the Black Eagle Gang has sent someone to me to send me a letter, asking me to hand you over to his nephew. If not, all the business of my Lu family pharmacy outside the city will be cut off. Lu Changjiu's expression became unnatural. You also know that most of the money-making pharmacies are in the towns below the city. In addition to the current world, the price of food changes every day. It's not easy to raise your senior brothers as a teacher. Lu Changjiu's voice became smaller and smaller. He claims to be a Confucian scholar, but in the end he has to sell his apprentice to survive. I understand what master means. Qin Huai said expressionlessly. He understood it 2 days ago. As long as something happens, the master will definitely abandon himself to protect the business of the drug store. I won't reveal your whereabouts, but the pharmacy. Lu Changjiu opened her mouth. You have to think about master and all the brothers. Tomorrow morning, I will leave. Qin Huai said concisely. Never drag master down. Qin Huai clasped his fists, then turned and went back to the room. My heart is completely cold. No wonder Lu Changjiu was so stubborn in front of everyone today. Now that I think about it, I have long been in collusion with the Black Dog of the Black Hawk Gang. Knowing that Lu Changjiu would drive herself out. It's easy to find out who betrayed Qin Huai. It was Gu Erwei. This person disappeared from the day before the Black Dog came, and has not returned until now. 80% will not come back again. As soon as Qin Huai left, Lu Changjiu recruited Ga Ruyang, her confidant second disciple. Let the news out that Qin Huai has been expelled from the pharmacy. The pharmacy will not be responsible for his life or death after that. Also, add 3 flour poisonous powder to Qin Huai's meal tonight. After taking the 3 flour poisonous powder, Wu Fu will lose all his energy once he mobilizes his qi and blood. $2. Gao Ruyang looked puzzled. He likes this little junior brother very much, but he has to choose between his master and Qin Huai. He still chose the latter without hesitation. $2 is a lethal amount for a martial artist. Qin Huai must not die in the pharmacy, otherwise the reputation of the pharmacy will be ruined. 1 money is enough, unless he can become a second martial artist overnight. Otherwise, he will definitely not be able to escape the hands of the Black Hawk Gang. There was an unprecedented sternness in Lu Changjiu's eyes. For my own pharmacy. If an apprentice dies, he dies. At the time of the second day. As if nothing happened. Everyone is doing everything step by step. Qin Huai felt a little unwell, but he didn't pay too much attention to it. Facing the purple air of the rising sun, he silently collected the experience dropped by Lu Changjiu and others around him. Ding! You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, green, Nursing Qi Gong Experience value plus 10 ding. You have collected a Nursing Qi Gong Essence, green, Nursing Qi Gong Experience value plus 17. Qin Huai suddenly let out a long breath. Silently walked back to the room. Just sat down. His whole body was on fire, and the familiar boiling sensation swept through his whole body again. Only this time, the boiling feeling was more violent. Qin Huai felt that his perception of the world became clearer at this moment. A long time, Qin Huai's red skin turned back to normal, and her hair seemed to grow a little longer. I look into the distance, the body structure of a mosquito on the thre outer wall can be seen clearly. Qin Huai said, open the personal panel. Name, Qin Huai Gongfa, Nursing Qigong, 50th floor, 7/1000, Concentrating Breathing Gong, 1st floor, 51/200, Skills, Pharmacy, Advanced, 571/1600, Boundary, Blood Refining Level 2. It's finally broken. Sure enough, as I expected, the 50th floor of Qi Yang Gong is an opportunity to step into the second training. Qin Huai peered inside his body. The white flood dragon inside his body had transformed into a real dragon. The 5 claws are sharp, the dragon scales are shining, the dragon's horns are towering, and the dragon's eyes are sharp, all of which are lifelike. The discomfort in my body has also disappeared. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. He stood up, he only brought the poison and aphrodisiac he prepared, and left the Lu family medicine shop silently. Didn't say hello to anyone. Lu Changjiu and the others in the dark let out a sigh of relief when they saw Qin Huai leave. I'm ashamed of Qin Huai. Lu Changjiu cried out in pain, but unfortunately no one answered. He took a look and handed a note to his second apprentice. The latter understood, take a look right out of the backyard. The words on the note were to notify Hegu that Qin Huai had left. At the entrance of the pharmacy, Qin Huai was stopped by Luoye. Master Qin, Brother Qin, why don't you take refuge in my Luo mansion? This matter happened because of me. My family will definitely try their best to keep you. Luoye's expression was firm. No, I have my own plan for this matter. Qin Huai remained silent and didn't say much. No. They are ambushing people outside. Maybe they will kill you in the street. Luoye firmly grasped the door frame with both hands, blocking Qin Huai's way. It's just a little girl who is not a warrior. What is Qin Huai's opponent? Qin Huai didn't speak, and pulled Luoye aside with light force. Go straight out of the pharmacy. In the lobby, the figures of Lu Changjiu and others instantly appeared in the place where no one was originally. Apparently they have been observing secretly for a long time. I am ashamed of Qin Huai. Lu Changjiu mourned, but unfortunately there was no sound of comfort. The disciples were silent and looked outside the door, not knowing what to think. Only Luoye. She bowed to Lu Changjiu, Master, Luoye won't cause trouble for Master anymore, and she will quit the pharmacy from today on. After all, she chased out without looking back. As soon as Qin Huai left the pharmacy, he felt something was wrong. The eyes that seem to be absent from all around are staring at him. This is the intuition of a warrior. It's like breaking the ground and nourishing Qigong. The breath-holding technique of the Black Eagle Gang. Qin Huai understood. This kind of practice is definitely the most difficult to carry out a sneak attack in the busy city. Although Qin Huai also has the technique of restraining breath, but the enemy is dark and we are clear. He can only find a few enemies who are not warriors, the black dog who has already cultivated to the realm of first refinement. Qin Huai is completely unaware of his movements. I have to be angry. Qin Huai said, the white dragon in his body instantly swelled. The astonishing airflow actually formed an invisible layer of defense on the body surface. In the crowd, the black dog looked at Qin Huai, who was cautiously looking around, with a sneer at the corner of his mouth. If my Black Eagle Gang's breath-suppressing skill can be carefully avoided, how can it gain a foothold in the mountains and make all the forces in the city afraid? He stepped forward quietly. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. He walked directly behind Qin Huai and was only 2 meters away, but the other party didn't notice. The black dog slowly took out the dagger hidden in his arms, with a fierce look in his eyes. Even in the Black Hawk Gang, his breathing skills are outstanding, and he has completed many assassination missions in the city. There are already 8 warriors with blood on their hands. An abandoned student who practiced health-preserving skills at a pharmacy. I want to shoot at the bottom position. The black dog focused fiercely and aimed at Qin Huai's heart. The knife in his hand flashed coldly. Base. He paused, and the dagger in his hand stopped an inch in front of Qin Huai. In any case, it was impossible to score another half point. Inner armor? Wrong. His dagger didn't even scratch his clothes. It was as if there was a wall blocking him out. What? The black dog growled lowly, concentrating on it, using up all the energy it had to suck. Cold sweat broke out all over his head. 1 knife. When? The black dog exerted all his strength. He blushed, he stared dumbfounded at the scene in front of him. Because his knife didn't even arouse Qin Huai's reaction. As usual, this is a proof of the strength of his breath-holding skill. But now? Absolutely naked humiliation. What kind of sorcery is this? Isn't this Qin Huai human? Thousands of thoughts flashed through Heigu's mind. No matter what, try again. Ha! The black dog suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and mustered all his strength. Then he saw Qin Huai looking at him. Pity. As soon as Qin Huai made a move, he grabbed the black dog by the neck. Like a vice, the black dog cannot move. The breathing technique is very powerful, but you are too soft. Qin Huai was a little scared. When the first knife fell, he really didn't react. I thought it would hang by a thread. Who would have thought that the black dog hadn't even broken through its own chi wall? If there is no Beilong to prop up the air wall, I am afraid that I will suffer disaster. But nothing if. Qin Huai wanted to continue to test the limit of the white dragon chi wall. But after a little thought, I gave up. Be careful to sail the boat for 10,000 years, it will be bad if it is planted because of Tuodai. Don't kill. Qin Huai exerted his strength just after Heigu said halfway. Click. Qin Huai directly broke the black dog's neck. Ding. You have collected a breath concentrating technique essence, green, and the experience value of concentrating breathing kung fu is plus 131. Qin Huai looked at the reminder message that flashed in front of his eyes. A black dog actually gained 131 experience points. Worthy of being a warrior, it is worth money. Because of his ability to hold back breath, Qin Huai knew at a glance the unskilled members of the Black Eagle Gang in the crowd. Catch up, there was absolutely no chance for them to escape. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating skill essence, white, breath concentrating skill experience value and 31. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating technique essence, white, and the experience value of concentrating breathing technique is plus 29. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating skill essence, white, breath concentrating skill experience value and 34. Qin Huai didn't let go of all three of them. Qin Huai glanced at his personal panel. Name, Qin Huai Gongfa, Nursing Qigong, 50 floor, 7/1000, Concentrating Breathing Gong, 2nd floor, 33/300, Skills, Pharmacy, Advanced, 571/1600, Boundary, Blood Refining Level 2. The breath holding power has directly reached the 2nd floor. Qin Huai was pleasantly surprised that his breathing could be made lighter. It should be more than enough to deal with those Black Hawk Gang members. He looked in the direction of Gippo Mountain. Brother! Behind him, Luoya chased him out. Brother, you! Luoya looked at the blood on Qin Huai's body, and quickly took out several packets of herbs. Qin Huai was about to take off Qin Huai's clothes on the spot. Not my blood! Qin Huai quickly grabbed Luoya's hand, preventing her from moving. It's not yours, brother, you killed all those members of the Black Hawk Gang. Luoya was surprised. Okay. Qin Huai nodded. Luoya was shocked and speechless for a moment, and wanted to ask a lot. Brother, come home with me, Luo Mansion will definitely not abandon you. Luoya was firm. I still have big things to do. Qin Huai patted Luoya's shoulder. As soon as he took 2 steps, he activated the breath-holding technique and quickly disappeared into the crowd. Division. Luoya looked at the direction Qin Huai left, but couldn't see anything. She was taken aback suddenly. This direction, isn't the Ghost Slope Mountain of the Black Eagle Gang this way? Could it be? There was a sudden commotion in the street because the bodies of Hegu and others had been found. This is a warrior from the Black Eagle Gang, the Black Dog of the 6th Master. Someone in the crowd recognized the identity of the Black Dog and immediately retreated 3 meters away. Who killed the Black Dog? I just saw, it's Qin Huai from the pharmacy. No way, he is a Qigong practitioner, where did he get the ability to kill black dogs? I saw it with my own eyes. But I didn't dare to speak out. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. The butcher with the knife slapped the table. I saw the black dog sneaking behind Qin Huai, but Qin Huai didn't respond at all. I thought this kid was going to die. Who would have thought that the black dog stabbed Qin Huai 3 times in a row? The surrounding people pricked up their ears. And then someone yelled. Then Qin Huai is fine. Not a single drop of blood came out. Boast. The black dog is a warrior. Did he stab 3 times without a drop of blood? Could it be that Qin Huai wore the indestructible armor of King Kong? Someone snorted. Then tell me, why did the black dog die? The butcher stared. The other party shut up immediately. When Qin Huai looked back, he pinched the black dog's neck like pinching a chicken. Crack! The black dog died. Butcher said the rise. Where did Qin Huai go? I probably ran away. Kill the black dog, and the Black Eagle Gang will never tolerate him again. The butcher snorted, not necessarily, I see the direction he is going, maybe he is going up Gippo Mountain. Going up the mountain? Does he still want to kill the gang? The butcher nodded, that's right, that's what I thought. The neighbors around suddenly laughed. Ha ha ha. Butcher, didn't you just get robbed of half a pig by the Black Hawk Gang a few years ago? You shouldn't be so imaginative if you want the Black Hawk Gang to die. If the Black Eagle Gang is wiped out, at least one of the 8 martial arts gyms will send out a talented person to kill them. Humph. If you don't believe me, let's just wait and see. The butcher was upset. Anyway, I see that Qin Huai's killing spirit just now is not weaker than those martial arts disciples. Lo's house. Nonsense. Isn't it absurd to ask me to attack Gippo Mountain? Father Luo was furious. It's absolutely impossible for Qin Huai to take down the Black Eagle gang by himself. There are so many masters in the Black Eagle gang, and my entire Father Luo won't help. If the Black Eagle gang is really easy to destroy, how can he survive until now? Father Luo tried his best to explain. They practice breath-holding skills, and even people from the 8 great martial arts halls would struggle to find them. What's more, they are well informed. As soon as officers and soldiers or the martial arts school want to move them, they will immediately receive the wind and transfer the site. Father Luo paced around the house. I believe in senior brother. Luoya said earnestly, just like I believed that senior brother would definitely save me from the Black Hawk gang. You. Luo's father was speechless. After all, the other party had saved his daughter's life. If he can take down the Black Eagle gang, I will give him the Luo mansion. Father Luo said angrily, then waved his hand. Forget it, I will send out all the masters in the house to protect him secretly. If he goes up the mountain and gets trapped, I'll ask them to try their best to save Qin Huai. It can be regarded as repaying his life-saving grace. At the foot of Gippo Mountain, Qin Huai's footsteps are extremely fast, and it feels like walking on flat ground among the mountains and forests. Facing the Black Eagle gang who possesses breath-holding skills. Blindly running away is too passive. Will live in fear of being assassinated all day long. So if you want to live a stable life, you have to take the initiative to go out. So here he is. The Black Eagle gang practice breath-holding skills, and are good at stealth and assassination. Although I have a realm advantage, if the other party sneaks into the forest, not only will I have a high probability of not being able to kill Black Eagle, the leader of the Black Hawk gang, but I may even be exhausted to death in the forest by them. Qin Huai talked to himself to build the situation. My chance of winning is to fight them openly. The opportunity lies in sneaking into the Black Eagle gang directly, and defeating his subordinates and other fighters one by one. Qin Huai pondered and cleared his mind. Qin Huai mobilized the breath-holding technique and began to climb the mountain. He walked briskly, and passed the 2 brown bears several meters apart. The other 2 seemed to have not noticed him, and walked straight past. Several hyenas didn't notice anything unusual either, their auras were sealed all over their bodies, and they weren't noticed by the beasts with a keen sense of smell. As long as you avoid the other party's sight, the effect of your own breath-holding skill can be made silent. Kill all the members of the Black Eagle gang, and my breath-suppressing power can reach the 5th and 6th floors. I don't know if it will cause another transformation of qi and blood. Qin Huai thought. Between thoughts, the Black Hawk gang came into view. There is not even a wooden watchtower, only more than a dozen simple wooden houses built on the ground. There are also some turf ropes around the house, which are a kind of rattan vegetation that is quite strong in the mountains and forests. They can be packed and taken away in batches at any time. These guys don't intend to stay for a long time. Qin Huai observed. Right, with the breath-holding skill close by, these members of the Black Eagle gang can change places with one shot, and in addition to the deep and secluded mountains and forests, there are good places to hide everywhere. Even if the government wanted to hunt them down, it would be very difficult. In addition, in fact, no warrior would fall into a bandit and be a bandit who is worried all day long. Because warriors are precious, as long as they show their identity, it is easy to find a leisurely and wealthy job in Pingnan City. Most of the mountain bandits outside the city are mobs, who either don't have enough to eat, or are persecuted by others, and the rare and vicious bandits don't know any cooperation strategy. It is not uncommon for them to be naked and skinny. But the Black Hawk gang is obviously an exception. 10 martial arts practitioners sit here, it can be said to be as solid as gold. Qin Huai felt it, and by virtue of his breath-holding skills and his physical fitness, he easily knocked down a few checkpoints outside. He skillfully picked up the experience ball. Ding! You have collected a breath-concentrating skill essence, white, breath concentrating skill experience value plus 22. Ding! You have collected a breath concentrating skill essence, white, breath concentrating skill experience value plus 19. Sure enough, he has a lot of experience in killing. Qin Huai looked at the experience value, which was completely different from Yang Qigong. Putting on the shabby short brown of a bandit, he walked into the village. From a long distance, Qin Huai could hear the bustle inside. Many people were slaughtering sheep and pigs, and some people had wreaths of wild flowers on their heads. Tonight's big banquet, all those pigs and sheep will be slaughtered, and all the fruits will be put on display. Anyway, the place will be changed tomorrow. A little boss ordered carelessly. It looks like there is a banquet. Qin Huai hid in the dark. Good chance. The distribution of the stockade is very simple. The outermost circle is a simple wooden fence. Go inside. It was a fence-like simple wooden house built by the Black Eagle gang. Qin Huai saw the bedding and clothes inside, and it should be a place to stay. Further inside, there is a large open-air stove and a simple dry toilet. There are also a lot of animal skins spread on the ground, which look decent. The innermost part is against the Gippo mountain, and the whole house is a fan shape. One by one, the Black Hawk gang members walked towards the center with a smile and a chat. Seeing the light of the flames, Qin Huai turned around and walked towards the big stove and grill. He tried his best to minimize the contact and staring with people. Perhaps because of his power of restraining his breath, he went all the way smoothly. Wandering around the kitchen and barbecue area, he evenly sprinkled the poison and aphrodisiac that he had prepared. Night fell. The bonfire in Gippo Mountain was raging, and laughter kept coming and going. On the wooden platform set up in the open space, Black Eagle, the leader of the Black Eagle gang, held up a wine bowl and waved it around to everyone in the audience. The audience immediately fell silent and looked at Black Eagle. Everyone, my Black Eagle gang has only been established for a year, and it has grown from the initial 5 members to the current 6-12 members. It relies on the secret skill of restraining breath. The government cannot catch it, and the warriors cannot find it. But it's more about the loyalty of my Black Eagle gang. Never abandon a brother. Never sit back and watch a brother die in vain. My nephew's revenge will be avenged. Brother's revenge will be avenged. That's why we can eat roasted pigs and lambs today. Yes. We will still eat roasted pigs and lambs in the coming year. Black Eagle laughed heartily. Eat roast pig. Eat roast sheep. Eat roast pig. Eat roast sheep. A group of people below shouted. I'll do it first. He Ying slammed down a bowl of wine, gritted his teeth and shook his head fiercely. Crack! What a strong drink! He Ying's cheeks turned red instantly. Good wine. Among the crowd, a lean man suddenly stretched out his hand. Catch a blackbird that fell in midair. He took out the note from Blackbird's ankle, and his expression changed drastically. Hastily rushed to the head of the Black Eagle, the head of the house. Something happened. He Ying's blurred eyes suddenly concentrated. You reading www.yuyuganshu.com. What is it? The black dog who went to deal with the pharmacy boy was killed instead. The man's voice was low. Is the news reliable? Black Eagle asked solemnly. It's absolutely true. Many people saw it and were beaten to death in the street. A look of grief flashed in Black Eagle's eyes. Blame me. It was I who let the black dog raise the reputation of my Black Eagle gang. Probably because I didn't show my breath-suppressing power, the boat capsized in the gutter. Is there any news about the boy from the pharmacy? Black Eagle's eyes showed a fierce look. Not yet, but someone said. The man hesitated. Say what? Someone said that the boy from the pharmacy went to Gippo Mountain. Up the mountain. Black Eagle was taken aback. Is there any movement from the 8 great martial arts halls and the city lord's mansion? No. We have spent a lot of money on this aspect, and we must be staring at it. Black Hawk finally felt relieved. If he dares to go up the mountain to die, then come. Could it be that he can destroy my Black Eagle gang by himself? He Ying gulped down the wine and slammed the wine bowl. There is an unknown fire in the body that rises into the sky and goes straight to the sky. Woman, woman. Black Hawk looked around, but couldn't find a woman. His Black Hawk gang has strict discipline. In order to prevent women from holding back, there is no woman in the entire Black Hawk gang. But now, this wine is poisonous. He Ying regained consciousness for a moment, and immediately realized something was wrong. Everyone be alert! He roared, but watched the torches set up around him fall down one by one like a butterfly effect. A large swath has been extinguished. Back to God's Kung Fu, the mountain was already plunged into darkness.